Jay here from Stretford, Paddock. This is the Paper Talk. We're getting into all things Manchester United related, all the latest news coming out of Old Trafford. So make sure you are hitting like, share and subscribe. There's some transfer news because obviously the January transfer window is here. We're going to be getting into that. What is happening with Marcus Rashford? There's a lot of stories doing the rounds about where he might not be going, where he could be going. A swap deal potentially on the cards. So we'll get into that. Plus everyone's losing them. Well, I say everyone. Some people are losing their minds over a TikTok. So we'll get into that. And we'll be looking at some other potential incomings and outgoings as well. So make sure you are getting involved in all the chat. Loads of people already here. Robert Tater says Jay's missus doing some hovering. Beg your pardon. Chris Quigley, all right, is blaming Ethan because we were a minute late. Well, listen, it's not Ethan's fault, and also a minute late is kind of early for us. Patrick Mulford, BMW Racing, John Henry, Heaven Soul, Wayne Davis, Bilal Khan. All good to see you guys in the chat and everyone else as well. Make sure you are hitting that like button. Right, let's talk about Marcus Rashford because it's been a hot topic for about, well, you could argue it's been a hot topic for years, but certainly for the last few weeks, not getting in the side. Obviously, him and Ruben Amorim have had this sort of, I wouldn't say a fallout, but Ruben Amorim isn't happy with him. He wants to leave. I think he was on the bench, wasn't he, for the Newcastle game, didn't get off the bench, which says it all really, doesn't it? He's not even getting in the squad. There's obviously an issue there. He said to Henry Winter, he's looking for a new challenge. The big question, though, is where is that challenge going to be? Who can afford his wages? We're hearing that he's on anything between 300k to 365k, depending on who you listen to. Not an easy wage to a club to just eat up. Now, you'd think there'd be some clubs that would look at Marcus Rashford and go, he's a player that could come and do a job for us. But so far, it's been a bit of a lukewarm reaction. There's a story here in the Manchester Evening News. It says, Marcus Rashford has rejected 3 offers from Saudi Pro League clubs worth up to $35 million a year amid uncertainty over his United future. Rashford has also ruled out a move to any teams in Turkey as he wants to prioritise a career-driven move ahead of the 2026 World Cup in 18 months' time. Now, the Saudi Pro League thing I get. He's obviously not interested in going to the Saudi Pro League. Yes, it's going to be amazing money, but what is he, 27 years old? If he goes to Saudi at 27, that is not closing the door forever, but it's certainly putting the brakes on any chance of him going back into the England squad. I don't think Thomas Tuchel is going to be going, well, if you're doing well in Saudi Pro League, you can play for England. No disrespect to that league, but let's be realistic here. This isn't Cristiano Ronaldo going there where, you know, he still gets in the Portugal squad because he's Cristiano Ronaldo. This is a player who hasn't been in the England squad anyway, even when he was playing for Manchester United. Is he going to get in the England squad when he's playing in Saudi? I don't think so. Also at 27, should he be going there at that age? I don't think that either. Let me know what you think. Now, there's another story that's been doing the rounds this morning, and this is about a potential swap deal. Now, Marcus Rashford, according to the MEN, doesn't want to go to Turkey. However, there's other reports saying that this could be on the cards. It says here about Victor Osimhen, who has a 62, this is from the Mail, I think, 62 million release clause in his contract. He's currently on loan at Turkish giants Galatasaray. The Nigerian star moved on loan after being banished from Napoli squad. Being banished from Napoli squad after seeing a move to the Premier League fall through this summer. Osimhen has been heavily linked with a move to Chelsea. A deal to sign Osimhen would improve Man United's forward options. So I think if we keep going here, sorry, I'm just trying to find where the sort of oh yeah, sorry. So it doesn't matter about Turkey, obviously does it because he's Osimhen's on loan from Napoli, so forgive me. Yeah, so it says here, Napoli manager Antonio Conte is reportedly interested in a deal for Rashford as the club pushes for the Serie A title. Now, I was talking about this in, I think it was off the bar yesterday. It might be another video that I did. I feel moulding on at times. Thinking about how players go to Italy from United and get the career going again, or have a good time of it towards the end of the career, or, you know, have a positive move. You look at Romelu Lukaku, you look at Alexis Sanchez, you look at Ashley Young, you look at Chris Smalling. I mentioned this the other day. They've all gone to Italy from United and done well and won titles and trophies, or, you know, got themselves sort of playing really good football. In some cases as well, been in that conversation about getting back into the international sides that they've been dropped from. So maybe that can happen for Marcus Rashford. We'll have to wait and see. It says here, United will listen to offers for Rashford this month as they try to comply with profit and sustainability rules, and would also consider a loan move if his new club pay a fee and cover the majority of his wages. So you need someone who's going to come and pay some of his wages. United, I think, are going to have to take a hit. He's on whatever he's on. United have to pay at least you know, say 100, 150k towards it, and then the receiving club would pay the rest. Is that going to happen though? We'll have to wait and see. At the minute, this is a bit of a farce. It really is, because you've got a player who is United's top earner, or one of United's top earners, if not the top earner, who in the past has scored goals and got assists, but isn't being used at all. Now, I'm not saying that Marcus Rashford should be in the team. I don't think that's all. I think if the manager feels he's not working hard enough in training, or he's not doing what he needs him to do to get into the team, then he's right not to put him in the team. I think as a manager, you have to sort of stick to your guns and say, look, if you train and perform at levels I want, then you're in the team, and if you don't, you're not. I get that, I understand it, but we need to do something with Marcus Rashford. You can't just have him sat on the, no, not even sat on the bench, sat in the stands doing nothing, whilst we're struggling for goals and we're paying him a wedge to do that. So you need to move him on and bring someone in. Now, Osimhen coming in, it's not ideal, but it would be a solution if you could do some sort of swap deal where Marcus Rashford went out and Victor Osimhen came in. However, is it going to happen? We'll have to wait and see. With this sort of suggestion has been going around for a little while now, picked up a bit more traction recently. I'm doubtful, I'll be honest with you. Get involved in the chat in the comments and let us know what you think. He's not got to Saudi. I think there was reports that other clubs are looking at him, but nothing of the calibre, or not a club of the calibre where you think, okay, that would be attractive to Marcus Rashford if he wants to get, not just about money, which he's on a lot of money already. This is about him getting his career going again. This is about him getting into the England team as well, into the England squad. And certain clubs that he's been linked with, that ain't going to happen. And it ain't going to happen while he's sat in the stands for Manchester United, not even getting a game. Bill O'Reilly, who's been a member of the first team for 37 months, says, I'd love Rashford to stay and be a big success. I'd also love to be 6 inches taller and lose 50 pounds, but it's not going to happen. So best for all to move on. I wondered where that was going. Fair enough. Yeah, I mean, look, it's just not a great situation. Nihat Mazir says, we aren't letting Osimhen leave. Sorry, Jay. I think you're right. I think it will struggle to get Victor Osimhen in. We need a solution, though. We need something to happen. Let me know what you think. If anyone doesn't think this happened, fair enough. I kind of agree with you. But what will happen then? What do you see happening? What needs to happen? What is an answer to this conundrum? Because at the minute, it's ridiculous. It really is. United have got a problem scoring goals. We've got a player who has scored goals in the past who we don't want to use, and I get why we don't want to use him. We need to move him on then and get someone in who can help us score some goals. Because at the minute, no one is. And he's obviously not going to play. So move him on, get someone in, let's fix this. At the moment, we aren't fixing anything. Bill O'Reilly says, legs in midfield, please. Islam Holmes says, Osimhen, how will he even pay his wages? He's on 300k a week. I presume that is a week. Rugby Analysis 1 says, United missed out on Ashley Barnes. Harry Potter says, wing backs, Jay. We do need wing backs, don't we? Let's talk about, not a wing back, a full back, but he can play as a wing back. Not that he's played much football for Manchester United recently. Let's talk about Luke Shaw. Every day there's like new outrage, isn't there? And fume that does the rounds. And this is one, we've picked it up on here from, I think it's, we've got this story about Luke Shaw. Basically, he was on a TikTok over Christmas, I think, and New Year, where someone's done a TikTok video at a party where he's there and he says a line in this TikTok video. Now, people are looking at this and going, how dare he do this TikTok? He's not played for United since whenever it is, or he's barely played since February. I think he's had about 2 appearances since then. He's injured again. United are in the relegation, well, not far off the relegation zone. Well, he said we're in the relegation zone. It's not quite that bad. Not far off the relegation zone. And you've got a player that's earning loads of money. He's not playing and he's making TikToks. I mean, who cares, really? What should he be doing? Should he be sat at home on the floor in a fetal position crying? Like, is anyone really bothered? I mean, that TikTok, I think we played the entire clip there of him featuring in that TikTok. It was a second. It's not like he spent his time missing training to go make TikToks. He features in a TikTok at a party over Christmas. For a second, I've been critical of Luke Shaw at times. Said, like, his injury record, oh, it's not necessarily his fault, but he's not good enough. I think he's missed about 60% of the games in the last 5 years. Needs to move him on. Isn't working for him. When he plays, he's great, but he don't play enough. Just, it's time to move on from Luke Shaw. But I'm not going to lose my mind because he's in a TikTok video. I think people just looking, like, people are that angry and deflated with what is going on at Manchester United. It's like, if we don't see videos of footballers constantly training, then we're just going to get annoyed. I'm not bothered. really. Maybe it's because I'm a 44-year-old man and I don't really get the whole... I do TikToks now and again, you know, more political than anything. I'm not really into that. Although me eldest did have me doing a TikTok video as the car park at one point. But yeah, it's not for me. Let me know what you think. Harry Potter says, "My nan makes TikToks bore off." Jim Mack says he looks a bit heavy in that video. Oh dear. It's time for all these melts to go, says Aaron M. What a rubbish excuse to be outraged, Matt GP says. Yeah, I agree. There's lots of reasons to be angry at Manchester United at the minute, but I don't think Luke Shaw appearing in a TikTok video for a minute, or a second, I should say, over Christmas is one of them. I think Adam Joseph, I've got to tweet Adam Joseph. I like Adam. He's sort of... summed it up. He goes, if you're kicking off because Luke Shaw was with his friends and said one line in a TikTok, you need to get a life. It's now to be angry about. You're just looking for something to be peed about with Manchester United because they're a laughing stock, children and tantrums. I agree with all that. I think everyone is angry, everyone's fed up, and people are just looking for something to, you know, someone to vent their frustrations on. Last week it was Joshua Zirkzee, this week it's Luke Shaw. I'm sure we'll find someone at the weekend, someone new. Talk about Diego Leon. Bruno Pont, we've translated it here, says, impact. What? What's going on? Oh, there we go. In the next few days, Diego Leon will travel to Manchester to undergo medical tests. This is the kid we got in from Paraguay. I think he's 17-year-old. There you go. You can see he'll be in Manchester to get his medical. I don't think he plays for United, though, this season. I think he's sort of coming in. I think it's his... in the summer, yeah. He's coming in, having his medical, and then he's going back to his club, and then we'll have him in the summer. I mean, we could probably do with him now, to be brutally honest, but it isn't going to happen. But we've spoken about him. We've done a video on him with Finn from Academy Scoop. Looks like a positive signing. Let us know what you think. And Anthony Gates says, I'd rather swap McTominay, Rashford. Well, I'd rather swap for McTominay. Rashford has been a disease for years. I don't think he's all that anyway. Overrated, overpaid. Ober Saxy says, the point is, if it was Rashford, he would be getting destroyed. But it's not Rashford, and he kind of is getting destroyed. I mean, you're right, he probably would, but Luke Shaw's getting a load of outrage anyway. So I don't think there's a difference here. I don't think you say, well, that was Rashford. Well, it isn't, and people are still losing their minds over it. But you are right, Rashford would be getting hammered for it. And I just listen, there's lots of things about Manchester United that make me angry. That TikTok ain't one of them. Talk about Alvaro Carreras. This is from is this Straight News? Yeah. So this is the left back that United had, and then sorry, just scroll down a little bit here. So go to the top line of this. Let's have a look here. Carreras has his pick of suitors if he opts to leave Benfica. So he's been linked with a move away, and you can see it. I mean, the way this is worded, yeah, it's just threw me a little bit. He caught the eye of a host of top clubs. Real Madrid were linked with Carreras 21 towards the back of last year. He's got a buyback clause. United have got a buyback clause. Obviously, he was at United when he went to Benfica. I think was it around 5 million or whatever it was. He's got a buyback clause in the region of 16.7 million. A few people have spoken about this, about should we bring him back? Could he be the answer to our problems? I don't think it's going to happen. Maybe you're right if you think that. Maybe you think it should happen, but I am not so sure. Someone here says, I bet Rodri isn't putting up TikToks, says Shane Considine. Right, okay. I mean, he probably isn't, but I don't think that's, that means that we should all be outraged at Luke Shaw's appearance in it, personally. Let's talk about, I don't think the Carreras thing is going to happen, or Fernandez, whatever you want to call him. It isn't, I don't think it's going to happen. Could we use him? Maybe. I'll be honest with you, I'm one of the few Reds who didn't watch loads of him when he was at United. I saw a bit of him, but it seemed like as soon as he left, everyone was like, he was the answer to our problems. I can't believe we've let him go. I couldn't give you that opinion. I thought he was okay from what I gathered, but it seemed like that whole thing about when the player isn't available or isn't around, he's the answer to our problems. You remember like Donny van der Beek, when he wasn't playing, everyone thought he was the answer to our problems, even though he was nowhere near the levels we needed him to be. And I think there's a touch of that with Alvaro Fernandez. Let's talk about Dani Olmo. We said this the other day. He's been in Manchester, his agent, I think. However, his agent says has just dismissed all the transfer issues or interest. Dani Olmo, who can't be registered at Barcelona, it's a bit of a farce what's going on there. People are saying, oh, maybe we could get him. His agent's in Manchester, let's make that happen. I don't think it's going to happen. Let me know what you think. Dan United 94 says, Jay, I've just heard that the Osimhen deal is on. Ineos are currently negotiating spreading the fee over 876,459,225 payments of 5p. There you go then, sorted. Let's talk about Ruud van Nistelrooy, one of my favourite topics. Ruud van Nistelrooy here has said that he's not ruled out the possibility of coming back to Manchester United for some players. He was asked about it in a press conference. I watched this little clip. And he said, of course, I'm looking at my network. Having played in a couple of countries and more clubs, it's important to use my networking opportunities to strengthen the squad. We're looking at all possibilities to help the team reach its target. We're looking everywhere. So he's not ruled out the possibility of going back to Manchester United for some players. Would we loan a player to our relegation rivals, though? That's the question. Would be a bit of a bad move, that, wouldn't it, eh? You never know. Finally, let's talk about Joshua Zirkzee. This is from Alfredo Padula. Obviously, it's from Stretford Paddock, but it's come via Alfredo Padula. And it says, in the last few days, Juve have been in contact with Joshua Zirkzee's agent. They are waiting a final decision on the Dutchman from Manchester United. Juve love a draw, don't they, Juve? I'm just looking, we were talking about them before. Let's have a look at haven't they drawn like 11 games or something stupid already this season? I know that sounds ridiculous, but I'm pretty sure it is something. Yeah, it is. It's 11. They've had 11 draws. They're unbeaten, right, in 18 games, and they've drawn 11 of them in Serie A. So Thiago Motta, obviously, who's the manager there, he was at Bologna, where Joshua Zirkzee was, knows the player. Just looking, seeing there, I mean, they've not scored loads of goals, 30 goals. I mean, I'm not saying that he's going to be answers to the goal-scoring problem. We've made that mistake at United, haven't we? But obviously, the manager knows him. He knows Serie A. He did well at Bologna. Could he go in and help Juve get moving up the table? Probably. Would United want to let him go, though? We can't let all our attackers go. If we're going to let Rashford go and we're going to let Zirkzee go, then we need to bring someone in. Let me know what you think. Daryl Parfit says, why are we choosing players for Amorim? Please let him choose and then we support his decision. So far, we've heard nothing from Amorim once. You guys just add names to make a show. You're right, we do. That's what we do. Vertigo says, give Amos a chance at left wing back. Can't do any worse than what we've seen recently. Bring Fernandes and Kovar back. 2 stupid sales, if you ask me. Yeah, I mean, some of the sales we've made, there's a lot of debate going on. I do feel there's an element, though, of people just saying, oh, we should never have let him go without actually looking at why we let him go, if that makes sense. Glenn F says, I'm late. Who's going and who's coming? Well, we don't know who's going and we don't know who's coming, Glenn, if we're being brutally honest. That's the short and long of it. Yeah, breaking news, we don't know. Yeah. You wanted me to be honest about it, I'll be honest about it with you, brother. Callum says, Welbeck or nothing, oh my God. Danny Welbeck returns to Manchester United, that would be like winning the treble. I'm going to leave it there. Thanks to everyone who got involved in the chat in the comments. We're going to be back later on today with The Brew. I think it's going to be me, Howson, Joe Smith on that one. We'll try and keep the football talk down to a minimum. You know how we roll on The Brew. It's a bit of nonsense, in it, to round off the Friday. So make sure you join us for that. If you've not done so already, hit like, share and subscribe. I'm Jay Marty. This has been The Paper Talk. Thanks for watching.